Actually, when COVID hit March 2020, Bolster was an agency my brother and I and our friend Nick was running. They specialize in music and entertainment. And it was really where Linktree, we built Linktree out of. And that was going great. We were working with almost every festival in the country and a bunch in the US as well. And we had realized that maybe there's an opportunity to raise, we were just exploring the idea of raising money for Linktree. It was cash flow positive, bootstrapped at the time. We bootstrapped the agency also. And so that was how we went around running the business. And we went to LA and SF to meet with a bunch of VCs that had been reaching out and understand more about what it would mean to take money on. And then, 2 days into that, we were basically all those meetings were being cancelled. And we decided they'll be moved to being virtual meetings because people didn't want to meet in person. And so we said, hey, we may as well just get back home and do these virtually if we're just going to be doing them virtually anyway. And so we actually ended up on the last flight back into Australia before the borders closed. And it was the first flight that they had mandated a 14-day quarantine at your own home. And so my partner, who was staying at our house, left and went to stay at her mum's, and Nikki and I basically just moved into that house and stayed in the US time zone for the next 2 weeks to make sure that we could keep all of those meetings. And so that was like a weird time for everyone and was figuring things out. And meanwhile, actually, Linktree got a pretty significant tailwind from COVID and went from 4,000 or 5,000 signups a day to 20,000 a day to 40,000 a day. And so we're jumping on that, dealing with the growth of that and the infrastructure problems that come with that. And then also going from a place of maybe we can raise money. Let's see what this looks like, to like, actually, we probably need to raise money now. We need to grow this and we need to support this. And so that was obviously a good place to be in. On the other side was Bolster, which specialized in music and entertainment, and Prime Minister saying, hey, no more events as of today. And so pretty much 95% of revenue walked out the door for that agency. And so that was very much like my co-founder and brother Anthony's jumping on to keep that on life support and keep that business running, whilst I jumped onto Linktree, held on to gear lash and rode the rocket ship, but did what we needed to do to grow. That was like a challenging period for everyone, combined with being concerned about loved ones and family. I'm trying to understand what's going on in the world, but also, just staying in the US time, not really being awake when our friends and family go through this COVID thing, and just doing what we need to do to learn how to raise money and actually go and raise that money, whilst one business kind of falling over and one business going well. I don't know. I feel like we're going to say what most founders would say, which is like, you just figure it out. It is actually, frankly, I kind of like, that's probably where I feel I personally perform the best under that amount of pressure and uncertainty, where it's actually the fun part of, I know this is about really talking about a significant challenge, which we have many, and this is like a very challenging time, but it's where you step up and thrive and just learn as much as you possibly can. I'm the kind of person who just jumps into something. I probably should have read a book about how to raise money, but I didn't. And I jumped in on that, and it worked out well. It could have also not worked out well, but I think to me, that's like just the way I like to learn. And so that was like obviously I can look back on it now in hindsight and go, I just figured it out. I'm sure at the time it was pretty chaotic. It was extremely chaotic. I remember Mickey basically just going downstairs and cooking for us, and me just being online pitch after pitch and basically just feeding back to Mickey because he's a designer, how that pitch went, and he would just adjust the deck after each meeting, and we just like iterate and pitch again and iterate and pitch again. And so that was just a massive learning in itself. But obviously we were incredibly fortunate at the time as well that we were on this growth trajectory. I think we were the third fastest growing company in the world at that time, according to a bunch of VC statistics. An incredibly fortunate position to be raising money from, and it was less of a pitch and more kind of a discussion and more us learning about how to navigate this and whether this is the right decision for us, obviously, whilst we're still building the team and trying to scale the product to make sure it stayed alive during this growth period. And then also dealing with the unfortunate reality of needing to get people into JobKeeper and all of that kind of thing in the agency. I think for me, it's the saying of nothing's ever as good as it seems or as bad as it seems. I think just keeping on figuring it out, trusting your instinct and trusting your gut. No one around you, no one in your business has a better instinct than you do on your own business, and just continue to figure out your own way through it and build those learnings and just like doing what you can to continue growing. And then alongside that, doing what you can to maintain your energy and protect yourself from burnout. I think burnout comes from, for me, actually more so in the last year when things are like, the economy changed and things are very different and things are harder, and a lot of the decisions we made in 21 and 22 are very different. And like we had to fix a lot of those or change a lot of those decisions. That's where you really need to figure out a way to manage your energy and find things that fill your cup so that you can bring your best self to work and show up for everyone else. And so figuring out what those things are. And I think generally founders are kind of people who want to do things for themselves and figure things out for themselves. So I think you're going to get energy from solving those big problems. And that's like the building phase. It's really fun. And then as it evolves, it turns into more running a business and building a business. And that's, I think, can sometimes be the part where founders find less energy. And it's like about finding your place in the business allows you to keep that energy up.